We got Alexandra Szkotnicki in the red, Letona in the blue. All right, we're ready to go here. Szkotnicki in the red, Letona in the blue, underway. Quarterfinal rounds here at 2023 Senior Nationals. Letona snaps and clears the tie. Now Letona slowly marching forward. A little fakes from the outside for Szkotnicki. Another fake from the outside for Letona now. And first passive warning goes on the board with no score for Szkotnicki. So another passivity. She will go on the 30-second activity clock. Letona doing a good job kind of controlling space, controlling the action. So we're going to see likely another passivity with no points on the board, a minute 15 into this bout. See if we can get some action going here. Official motioning towards Szkotnicki once again, and that's going to be the second passivity call. So Szkotnicki going to go on the activity clock first. She's going to have 30 seconds to score. If no points go up on the board, Letona will receive 1 point. Neither wrestler taking any committed attack just yet. A lot of fakes, a lot of snaps from the outside for Letona. And the clock runs out on Szkotnicki, so a point goes on the board. Letona takes an early 1-0 lead. Now, if we don't see any more scores the rest of this period, we'll likely see Letona warned for passivity. And there you see the official motioning toward Letona. And there it is, passivity for blue. That's the rules of freestyle wrestling, looking to promote action from both wrestlers. So Letona can't just sit on this 1-0 lead in the second period. She's going to have to get to work as well. So not much action there in the first period. Letona takes a 1-0 lead over Szkotnicki into the break. So Letona maybe control the mat a little bit more than Szkotnicki. Some of her fakes, some of her snaps. But we're gonna need to see some points here in the second period as we're underway. And Szkotnicki really not able to get anything going during the ties, and it seems like Letona wants to work from space. Those arm drags, she'll clear ties a lot, work from fakes from the outside. We'll likely see Letona warned here for passivity if we don't see any points go on the board in the next 10, 15 seconds or so. And there it is. Letona goes on the activity clock as we approach the 2-minute mark of the match. So like Szkotnicki in the first, Letona will have 30 seconds to score. And we're seeing snaps, we're seeing fakes, but we're really not seeing any committed leg attacks. Not a lot of urgency here from either wrestler. And the clock runs out, so now Szkotnicki gets a point, and she will lead on criteria. Szkotnicki locking up that right arm. Letona with that 2-on-1. Letona looking to pull her underneath. And now Letona gets her arm back. So now approaching 1 minute. We might see another passivity called here. And blue once again. Oh! 2, look at that. Letona was just about to get called for passivity, ducks under, gets the 2. Now she takes a 3-1 lead outright here with 40 seconds to go in the match. So now we're going to see Szkotnicki needs a takedown. And Letona's got a little bit of blood here, so we're going to get this cleaned up. And Szkotnicki going to have 40 seconds to score. So we really haven't seen Szkotnicki's offense up to this point, just kind of tying up 2-on-1. She needs to work that pressure into some offensive positions here. And time is of the essence for Szkotnicki. Just 40 seconds to go. Letona holding that 3-1 lead. Szkotnicki coming forward. We're under 20 seconds now. Little leg taps from the outside for Szkotnicki. Under 10 now. Letona does a good job defending. She's going to have to stay engaged, and that's going to do it. Letona wins a low-scoring defensive bout, 3-1, and she's going to move on to the semifinals later this evening.
Come see me at the head table. Chase Nelson. Before my bladder breaks,